The Vice President participates in the Heads of Government Retreat of the Commonwealth Heads of Government Meeting 2024 integration for being appointed as the next Secretary General of the Commonwealth. And the Governor of MMA underscores the crucial importance of the World Bank and IMF in drafting plans after considering the needs and capabilities of countries.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSMNEWS in English with me, Hafiz Abdul Sattar. And now the news in detail. Vice President Hussain Mohammad Latif participates in the Heads of Government Retreat of the Commonwealth Heads of Government Meeting, Chogam 2024. The Commonwealth Heads of Government Retreat provides a significant opportunity for senior delegations from Commonwealth member countries to engage in a meaningful way and bring the necessary changes required by Commonwealth countries. The Vice President was accompanied by the Minister of Sports, Fitness and Recreation, Abdullah Rafiu. Commonwealth leaders convene for Chogam every 2 years, hosted by different member countries. This year marks the first time Chogam is being held in a small island developing state that sits in the Pacific. It is being held in Apia, Samoa. The theme for Chogam 2024 is One Resilient Common Future, Transforming Our Commonwealth. Vice President Hussain Mohammad Latif attends the official ceremony held by the King of the United Kingdom, Charles III, who also is the head of the Commonwealth. The ongoing 27th Commonwealth Heads of Government Meeting, Chogam 2024, is being held in Samoa. This marks the first time the meeting is being held on a small island developing state that sits from the Pacific region. During the executive session of the Chogam, Vice President Latif highlighted that democracy, human rights, peace, tolerance and respect for diversity are essential foundations for thriving societies. These values promote understanding and strengthen the rule of law and governance. He pointed out the Maldives' commitment to establishing a solid democratic framework, evidenced by the successful completion of 4 cycles of free and fair elections, presidential, parliamentary and local council. And now we'll take a short break for Isha prayers. Stay tuned.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وبعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
ليست للبيع
and the resumption of commercial activity.
هفتار نمیگن دایر دنیای که مشکل هود ایتا کامن گاگنده.
هذا هذا كرم إكي فهارو إكي قطع كتان عروتان نريتو.
दुनिया के फिब्बरुगा बोडेती एतन निम्मुन तके निम्मा
लुबनान का बॉर्डर आगा तुगा यहूदीन गाय को फवा तफात की आबादी तक को मीहु मुस्कुरान जे फवानी
තහුසීබ මුහන දුනියේග මේ මෞලූමාත්තා ඉංගු මුහිම්මු ಹಫ್ತಾಗೆ ದುನಿಯೆ ಹೊಣಿಹಿರು ದುವಹುಗೆರೆ 22 ಕಡಿ ಸುಮ್ಮಿನಟುಗ PSMNEWS
Welcome back to PSM News in English, and now we'll continue with the news. Vice President Hussein Mohamed Latif congratulates Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration of Ghana, Shirley Ayoko Botchwe, for being appointed as the next Secretary General of the Commonwealth. In a social media post, the Vice President congratulated the new Secretary General for her appointment. He further expressed commitment to exert collective efforts for the betterment of the Commonwealth of Nations. Additionally, Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Abdullah Khalil also sent congratulations to Ghana's Foreign Minister for being appointed as the new Secretary General. He reiterated the Maldives' commitment to fully support the Commonwealth during her tenure, aiming to make a real difference in the lives of the citizens of Commonwealth member countries. Ghana's Foreign Minister was appointed as the Secretary General during the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, CHOGM 2024. The meeting was attended by several high-profile dignitaries with the highest level of delegation from the Maldives being Vice President Latif. Governor of Maldives Monetary Authority MMA Ahmed Munawar has underscored the crucial importance of the World Bank Group WBG and the International Monetary Fund IMF drafting plans after considering the needs and capabilities of countries. The statement was made by the governor as he chaired the 2024 annual meetings of the IMF and WBG. This marks the first time the Maldives chaired the meeting as the chair of the board of governors of the World Bank and IMF.
In his address, Governor Munawar shed light on the critical importance of all countries working collectively, particularly on economic development. He echoed U.S. Treasury Secretary John W. Snyder's remarks from the first annual meeting, highlighting that the World Bank and IMF are not merely financial supporters. He further stressed that the World Bank and IMF must not fail the governments of the countries nor its residents and must make plans after considering the situation and capabilities of each member country. Furthermore, Munawar highlighted the challenges facing economic development, putting a particular emphasis on three key points: climate change, loan management, and systematic reforms. Noting that small island nations like the Maldives are significantly impacted by climate change, he discussed efforts to harness renewable energy. He stated that using renewable energy would not only alleviate some adverse effects of climate change, but also yield financial benefits. During the meeting, Munawar acknowledged the IMF's Resilient and Sustainability Fund for its contributions to climate change and energy initiatives. However, he stressed the importance of implementing further measures to assist countries transitioning to renewable energy. Recognizing that least developed and developing countries face substantial debt burdens, Munawar underscored the importance of considering their situations. He urged the World Bank, IMF, and multilateral banks to take proactive steps to assist nations grappling with high debt levels and to devise plans that alleviate the financial strain on countries investing in climate adaptation.
Minister of Fisheries and Ocean Resources Ahmad Shyam has underscored the crucial importance of new innovations and technologies in ensuring sustainable fishing. The statement was made by the minister during the Global Ocean Development Forum held in China's Shandong province.
Speaking at the forum, Minister Shyam highlighted that the Maldives is a developing small island nation surrounded by the ocean. The minister stated that the primary objective of the forum is to foster international collaboration to protect and sustain ocean resources. He indicated that this goal has evolved into a critical priority of the Maldives. Addressing the rising global demand for fish and fish products, Minister Shyam pointed out that the Maldives face significant challenges in the fishing sector, including the adverse effects of climate change and unsustainable fishing practices. He noted that these challenges adversely affect many individuals who rely on fishing for their livelihoods. In his address, Minister Shyam affirmed that the Maldives is exerting maximum efforts to adhere to international regulations and practice sustainable fishing. However, he stated that the challenges faced by the nation can only be resolved with the united efforts of the international community. The minister emphasized the need for countries to adopt policies regarding sustainable fishing practices as well. Furthermore, Minister Shyam recognized the assistance provided by China to enhance the Maldives fishing industry. He mentioned that discussions regarding the development of this sector took place during President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu's official visit to China, and efforts are now underway to implement these initiatives. The minister announced that investment opportunities are now available in the mariculture industry and for increasing fishing capacity.
Minister of Tourism Ibrahim Faisal has announced that Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation MMPRC will host a special symposium next year aiming to advertise tourism in the southern region. The remarks were made by the minister during the ceremony held to launch Addu tourism brand.
Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Faisal emphasized the importance of promoting tourism in regions where the tourism industry requires more development. The minister acknowledged that such regions face challenges due to difficulties in transportation measures and the implementation of tax within the tourism industry. highlighting the need to increase awareness among the youth residing in the regions regarding the opportunities present. He affirmed that the government will exert maximum efforts to increase awareness during tourism development. Noting that developing tourism in the southern region is a pledge of President Dr. Mohammad Muiz, Minister Faisal stated that efforts are currently underway to fulfill this commitment. Under these efforts, MMPRC will be hosting a symposium next year aiming to advertise tourism in the southern region. The minister stated that invitations will be sent to tour operators from India and China and will see the participation of parties working in the tourism industry of the 4 southernmost atolls. Furthermore, Minister Faisal stated that efforts are underway to increase the bed capacity of Addu City and Formula City expeditiously. The minister noted that this will play a significant role in ensuring that Addu International Airport is operated the most efficiently. It will also pave the path to expand the tourism industry within the region. Developing the tourism industry in Addu City is a presidential pledge of President Dr. Mohammad Muiz. The government also prioritizes and has placed a significant emphasis on this initiative.
Commissioner General of Taxation Hassan Zarir revealed his overarching goal of making the Maldives Inland Revenue Authority, MIRA, the most advanced tax authority in the region. MIRA is currently working on preparing a 4-year strategic plan. In an interview with PSMNEWS, Commissioner General of Taxation Zarir stated that the 4-year strategic plan is under preparations with the assistance of several parties, including foreign consultants. Zarir stated that the primary objective of the strategic plan is to make the tax authority the best in the region. He mentioned that efforts are being exerted to seek public opinion on MIRA and revealed plans to bring transformational reforms to the tax authority. This includes fully automating the tax payment process. MIRA has held a forum with stakeholders this month under the name MIRA Stakeholder Consultation Event. During the forum, discussions were held on the preparation of the strategic plan and measures to undertake to enhance services provided. Mala City Group of Hospitals have announced plans to develop 4 general practice GP clinics in various locations of Mala City. The development of the government-funded clinics aims to alleviate the waiting time and queues at Indira Gandhi Memorial Hospital, IGMH.
IGMH is the main government-funded hospital run under Mala City Group of Hospitals. It provides numerous services along with free healthcare services to several individuals visiting the hospital. Similar to IGMH, the demand for other hospitals have also increased remarkably. According to statistics from IGMH, over 150,000 patients sought emergency healthcare services or general practice appointments, while approximately 240,000 individuals visited the hospital for outpatient department OPD services. Additionally, around 238 patients visited Hurumala Hospital for doctor's appointments. Speaking at a press conference, Chief Executive Officer CEO of Mala City Group of Hospitals, Ibrahim Abdurrazzaq Halim, revealed plans to bring about some significant changes to enhance the services provided by IGMH. This includes the development of 4 GP clinics across the city to reduce the queues at IGMH. Mala City Group of Hospitals stated that after consulting a general practitioner at a GP clinic, instructions will be provided to consult a specialist with arrangements made by the clinics. Furthermore, CEO Abdurrazzaq stressed that the majority of individuals are not aware of important things when consulting a doctor. He noted that this includes consulting the wrong type of specialist accidentally and prolonged treatment period. He affirmed that the GP clinics to be established will play a key role in resolving this issue. Additionally, Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Dharmawant Hospital, Dr. Shah Mahir, highlighted that efforts are underway to bring significant changes to the appointment system to alleviate the queues to consult specialist doctors. These enhancements will ensure that patients are well informed of their specialist appointment dates and times in advance, thereby reducing waiting times.
Maldives Blood Services MBS has reported that 3 out of the 14 thalassemia children who were sent abroad to seek bone marrow treatment have returned. Every year, the government sends a certain number of thalassemia children abroad for treatment.
Speaking at a program aired on PSMNEWS, Associate Specialist in Pediatrics of MBS, Dr. Ahmad Umar stated that all the children who were scheduled to travel for treatment funded by the Zakat House of Maldives has departed. This year, a total of 14 children were sent abroad, with 2 children returning to the Maldives after fully completing the treatment. Dr. Umar also stated that 1 more child will be returning within the next 2 weeks after completing treatment. Furthermore, Dr. Umar sadly disclosed that 1 child who was sent abroad to receive treatment passed away last week. He further revealed that the remaining 10 children have completed an operation and are currently undergoing additional treatment. After the bone marrow operation, the children will have to spend 3 to 6 months abroad for treatment. The government aims to send a total of 10 children to undergo bone marrow transplant annually. Under these efforts, the 10 children who are to undergo bone marrow transplants next year have started the screening process and are completing the necessary tests to determine their health condition. The Ministry of Health reported that currently, a total of 40 children who are eligible to undergo the transplant have been listed. Those children have compatible bone marrow donors within their respective families. Currently, there are 959 registered thalassemia patients in the Maldives, with 666 currently alive. 16.6% of the Maldivian populace are thalassemia carriers, and half of the thalassemia patients reside in the Greater Malay region.
Vilingili Island Council has decided to lease 11 land plots from the southern part of Vilingili, Gafali, Fetol to develop tourist hotels and guest houses. The council has now opened the opportunity for interested parties to submit the bid registry form before November 5th, 1300 hours. The land plots which are designated for tourism purposes include 6 plots with an area of 3,647 square feet. It also includes a land plot with an area of 2,701 square feet and one with an area of 1,670 square feet and one with an area of 1,234 square feet, another with a land area of 607 square feet, one land plot with an area of 400 square feet. The council noted that these land plots will be leased for 15 to 35 years. The largest fish factory is situated 1.1 kilometers away from the island, along with a regional airport developed nearby. The famous Shark Point for diving in the region is also located in the shallow waters between Kudu and Vilingili. Luxury tourist resorts are also developed on either side of the island. Therefore, the council expresses confidence in yielding positive benefits to the island as a result of the efforts being exerted to enhance local tourism on the island. The Panama Canal income increases despite a severe drop that reduced the number of vessels that passed through the waterway.
The Panama Canal's profit increased about 9.5% in the fiscal year ended in September to $3.45 billion, despite a severe drought that reduced the number of vessels that passed through the waterway. The third driest year in the canal's history reduced water available to operate, forcing its authority to cut the number of ships authorized to pass per day between late 2023 and early 2024, while limiting their maximum draft allowed. The restrictions, which caused long delays for some vessels to pass and forced others to seek alternative routes, were removed later this year after rainfall replenished the country's water reservoirs. The waterway handled 423 million tons of cargo through its locks and saw passage of 27.3 ships per day on average, down from about 36 the previous year. But a 5% reduction in operational costs helped ease the financial effect of the drought. Finance Vice President for Panama Canal, Victor Weil, citing preliminary figures, told journalists that the net income for the fiscal year 2024 reached $3.5 billion compared to $3.2 billion during 2023. The canal, which is frequently not filling the 36 passage slots per day it is now offering, is adding incentives for some vessels to return, including bulk carriers and liquefied natural gas tankers, while advancing $8.5 billion in projects for the next 7 years, including new infrastructure. A new long-term reservation system allows shippers to participate in auctions to secure slots up to a year before passage. Other measures include conservation strategies that reduced water usage for each passage by 12% in the fiscal year.
Israel struck Iran early on Saturday, but its retaliation for an Iranian attack this month did not appear aimed at the country's most sensitive oil and nuclear targets after urgent calls from allies and neighbors for restraint. The risk of a wider conflagration between heavily armed Israel and Iran has convulsed a region already on fire with warfare in Gaza and Lebanon, but it was not clear whether the overnight strikes would trigger further escalation.
Israel's military said sources of jets completed 3 waves of strike before dawn against missile factories and other sites and warned its heavily armed Ark not to hit back. Iran said its air defense had successfully countered the attack, but some locations had received limited damage. A semi-official Iranian news agency vowed a proportional reaction to Israeli airstrikes. Fears of escalations have increased since October 1st, when Iran launched around 200 ballistic missiles at Israel, killing 1 person in the Israeli-occupied West Bank in response to earlier Israeli moves and prompting new vows of retaliation. Escalating conflict in Lebanon, where Israel is waging an intense campaign against Iran's main regional ally, Hezbollah, to stop it firing rockets into northern Israel, has raised the temperature still further. With the United States and many Middle Eastern countries urging restraint, all eyes are now on Iran for how it will respond to Saturday's strikes. Local media had reported blasts over several hours in the capital and at nearby military bases. Israel's military, signaling it did not expect an immediate Iranian response, said there was no change to public safety restrictions across the country.
Freddie Freeman's walk-off grand slam to lift the Dodgers to a 6-3 win over the visiting Yankees in Game 1 of the World Series on Friday immediately called to mind another Dodgers home run enshrined in baseball history.
Like Freeman, Kirk Gibson was dealing with injuries when he came to the plate in Game 1 of the 1988 World Series and delivered a walk-home-off run for the ages, famously pumping his fists as he limped around the bases. Coming into Friday's Game 1, Freeman had missed 3 of the Dodgers' 11 postseason games due to the injury and was in a hitting slump. The Yankees chose to intentionally walk Mookie Betts to get to him in the bottom of the 10th inning, and Freeman made them pay, obliterating the first pitch he saw from Nestor Courts and sending it, just as Gibson had, into the seats in the right field as Dodger Stadium erupted. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts told reporters that that might have been the best baseball movement he ever witnessed.
I mean, it's arguably might be the greatest baseball moment I've ever witnessed, and I've witnessed some great ones. As the inning started, you're just trying to think about getting Shohei to the plate. And then, once they decided to walk Mookie, I just felt good with Freddie at the plate. And just that swing, you knew it was gone, and just pure elation. And you don't see teams celebrate after a game, a walk-off like that. But I just think it was certainly warranted. And, it was a great game before that. But the way it finished, I just couldn't be more excited for our guys.
Freeman's epic shot, the walk-off grand slam in World Series history, is a bright moment after a difficult stretch.
India's enormous garment sector churns out billions of dollars worth of new clothes each year, but some local fashion lovers are switching to second-hand to assuage worries about the industry's environmental impact. It is a tiny drop in a massive ocean, but hipsters shoppers in the capital, New Delhi, say their example is slowly shifting the throwaway attitudes rampant among India's middle class.
New Delhi is dotted with markets offering second-hand clothes, a thrifty alternative for those on low wages or making an ethical choice. There's rarely an effective system for recycling cloth in India, with waste overflowing into towering landfills. India is the world's 5th biggest garment exporter, with the trade worth $15 billion in 2023, according to the World Trade Organization. The industry employs 45 million people, according to the government-backed Invest India agency, nearly the same as the population of Spain. Some in India turned to thrift shopping after being restricted at home during the COVID-19 pandemic and finding online stores promoted on social media. The second-hand market for clothes is microscopic compared to the industrial production of new garments, but shoppers say it is more about the message that it sends, and changing attitudes has to start somewhere. Swati Sambyal, an expert in the circular economy, warned that effective resource management required tackling the mass generation of textiles in the first place. She said that some brands were shifting to using natural textiles, including ones made from banana and pineapple fibers, in a bid to reduce their environmental impact. But in the end, she noted that nothing will change unless the consumer changes too.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant time ahead.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dunia ke kali program balawante behuriha befurna vis marhaba danavan dunia ke kali mi program ki dunia ke masroga hinga muhimu kankama kulegatun ituru tafsil genetsen mutaka alogan men news to muntayar kura program ge miedu an men kandala fa mawlu ki ingres vedatu ge istimari aniyataka badal den goalum mi mawlu agen kuriye demuge kuren an men ituru tafsil mi badalane me furtambes mi Israel und Iran mi vega hamalata ke dinkam ge mawlumat mene difa ten fatis namadu waguta dimako Israel und Iran mi hamala difa wani mi hamala die maganu gote ge kineto kobato mi hamala ge itur tafsiraki
Iran on the Fahareg Mating Operation True Promise